Salutations, crustaceans. I'm Lobster, and today we're going to be having a look at a pedal. This is the Seamoon MORE. Big thank you to Seamoon Pedals for sending me this pedal for review. I really appreciate it. So thank you, Seamoon. And apologies, I'm a little bit under the weather, so I sound a bit under the weather. I don't know. But the Seamoon MORE pedal is the latest offering from Seamoon, and it is a bass-specific pedal geared towards bass players. What does it do? It gives you more. What is more? More bass, specifically sub bass or mid bass. The pedal that you can see here consists of a single big knob and a two-way toggle switch. The knob controls how much boost you want, and the toggle switch controls which frequency you're targeting, be it the sub bass frequency or the mid bass. Unfortunately, documentation is rather sparse on this pedal, so I don't know which specific frequencies they're targeting, but they're very distinct in how they react with your instrument and the mix as a whole. And how much does the Seamoon MORE pedal cost? These come in at $99, which is the cheapest Seamoon pedal by a pretty good margin. However, this is pretty limited on features compared to those pedals, but it does what it does in a very unique and solid way. To demonstrate this pedal, I'm going to be using my 1980s Yamaha BB1200. This is a great sounding bass, and I think it will do a great job demonstrating how the MORE pedal works. This Yamaha BB definitely doesn't lack in low end. It is a great sounding bass. Here's what my Yamaha BB sounds like just as is. A really nice sounding bass. However, let's sprinkle a little bit of more on there. We're going to have the toggle switch to the left, which is going to be targeting the mid bass frequencies. Still very bassy, but check it out. We're going to have the pedal at about 9 o'clock, and let's engage it. Even at 9 o'clock, basically about less than a quarter engaged, you get a lot of meat added to the tone. On the low end, you definitely hear it, you definitely feel it. Let's take that up to about 12 o'clock now. Bloop. That might be a little bit too much. So I'm finding that with this pedal, basically under noontime is the sweet spot for adding some meaningful frequencies to this, at least with the mid-bass frequency selected. I'm not going to go any further than that for right now, but let's go ahead and switch over to the sub-bass frequency. So once again, here's my Yamaha BB1200, no pedals engaged. Here's what it sounds like just as is. Now let's add the MORE. This time we're going to be adding the sub bass at 9 o'clock. And let's bring that to about 10.5 now. Again, I'm finding basically 12 o'clock and under is where you want to keep this thing if you want to add meaningful boost to this and not just overwhelm your speakers. Now let's go ahead and have a loop going. We're going to have that loop constantly playing, both with keyboards, drums, and bass. And we're going to play with the pedal as the loop is going so we can hear how it performs in a more linear fashion. Let's do it. Okay, so here are my final thoughts on the Seamoon MORE pedal. In regards to the usefulness of this pedal, I could see it having some applications, especially if you're looking for that extra low-end punch and it's something that your EQ simply doesn't provide. This is definitely a cool pedal that can give you a boost in a crunch. In regards to how it pairs with pedals, I found that with a drive pedal, at least with the drive sitting after this pedal, it doesn't really do a good job. I haven't really messed with that many different pedal orders with this, but as a standalone pedal, I think it's okay. I wish it did have some sort of expression implementation. That way you could set a boost level for your bass and then use an expression pedal to kind of go linearly between those 2 points of clean and boosted. You could have some pretty cool bass swells that way. But as it stands right now, you don't have that expression pedal implementation, and it is kind of a one-trick pony for the most part. It is a solid trick, and the bass boost again can be useful in some situations, especially if you're looking for that really like low end boosted tone. This will deliver that low end. And also if you want to have like a bass boost on the fly, so if you're playing something and then you really want that bass boost to go and punch people in the face, this is a good pedal for it. I'm not really a huge pedal person. I have a certain number of pedals that I use for bass here. Most of them are not focused towards adding more low end, because I usually try to go with the more natural tone for the instrument. But that being said, I'm sure someone out there has a use for a pedal like this. But let me know what you think about the Seamoon MORE pedal down in the comments below. As always, thank you all for watching, and until we group again.